This story is told by an alum who had a grandfather who came to St. John's in the 1930s. And in a story that probably wasn't so uncommon at that point in time, his grandfather studied for a year, and toward the end of that year, his father passed away, and he had to go back home to help support his family as the oldest in the family. And he never came back to St. John's to finish his education. Didn't come back to St. John's for many, many years. And this alum tells the story of coming back to St. John's with his grandfather around the time his older brother wanted to visit colleges. So this was decades later. And the alum that's telling this story is 6 or 7 years old at the time. So they come to St. John's on homecoming, mainly so his older brother can visit campus and decide whether this is a place he wanted to go. They got out of the car, so this is the alum, his brother, his mother, and his grandfather. And they start walking around campus, a beautiful fall day in Collegeville. And within a very few minutes of parking the car, they run into a monk that remembered his grandfather after literally decades. And the monk and his grandfather were off for the rest of the day, talking to each other, reminiscing, catching each other up on their lives, while the young man and this boy and his young man brother were looking at the campus. And at the end of the day, they said goodbye to the monk. They got in the car, and they started to drive home. And this alum, who's a young boy at the time, notices that tears are running down his grandfather's cheeks. And he said, "Grandpa, why are you crying?" And his grandfather said, "Only at St. John's could you go away for nearly 50 years and come back and they remember you." It captures the essence of what makes this place special. This is a place when you come to St. John's, you are known, you make an impact on the place, you are part of this place. Even if you're away for many years, you come back, and your presence is remembered and noted.